Hello, investors. This is Ted Zhang, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Wednesday, October 9th, 4:46 p.m., coming to you from Virginia, not Fort Lauderdale, with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. So I'll quickly go off script. Just quickly, wish Don all the best in St. Augustine as the hurricane is about to hit the west side of Florida this tonight actually, and then it's supposed to reach dawn in St. Augustine in the middle of the night and tomorrow morning. So best wishes to all of you guys if you live in Tampa, Clearwater, um, anywhere on that Gulf side, and then best wishes to everyone else in Florida. Fort Lauderdale, fortunately, won't get hit, but coincidentally, I went back home to visit my family this week and then to attend some college event. All right. So let's jump right into it. Hurricane is hitting, but the market doesn't care. The index is in breath. We saw a breakout S&P into a new all-time high. So looking at the GROTECTION gauge, market leaders, some are taking a break, but on balance, all acting extremely well today. Short term, of course, above the 21 EMA, medium term above the 50, long term above the 200. And as I said, uh, just a full breakout day following yesterday. And I was actually kind of hinting at potentially we'd get a breakout today, and we did. And of course, nothing is bearish about S&P 500 new all-time highs. So what happened today? 21 over 21 list up 0.3%, 11 up, 5 sideways, 5 down. So like I said, that aligns with some market leaders taking a break while on balance, they're still acting well. Big eight mega caps also took a break today after yesterday's leadership, only up 0.12%. RGA up 0.58%, S&P up 0.77%, equal weighted S&P RSP up 0.68%, Qs up 0.79%, QQEW up 0.81%, Dow up 1.02%, and then mid caps up 0.63%. And so small caps up 0.17%, global 60/40 up 0.14%, and GROTECTION up about 0.59%. Small caps continues to lag. Um, so we'll see if small caps want to do some catching up in the coming future. As always, let's head right into the S&P 500. And of course, yesterday, the past few weeks, we've talked about good above this line, bad below. Yesterday, our keys coming in today was this range right here, this box. And today, we broke out into all-time highs on elevated volume. There's really nothing much to talk about here, except we are riding the trend. We got the 21 EMA above this base breakout. We're back above the 8 EMA, so letting it ride as we do best. Equal weighted also wedge pop above this bull flag, as I was potentially talking about yesterday. Great action above that elevated volume versus the previous day as well. Qs, another one that I've been talking about, good above this line, bad below. Yesterday we got back above the line, and today we just about made a new high relative to the September 26th high. This is literally flawless, perfect VCP action. This tight right side is just unbelievably perfect. And I expect us to hit 500 next, and we'll see if we make all-time highs in the Qs as well. Another thing I do want to showcase is even though the Qs is a great proxy for the Nasdaq Composite, it is actually the Nasdaq 100. And so this is the Nasdaq Composite again, perfect VCP action, perfect tight right side, and we broke out as well. Um, this we had a highs of 18,302. We still haven't broken above the 926 high, but this is looking really good, back above 18,000 as well. I'll quickly go over the NYSE comp as well, since the S&P on market surge derives its volume from the New York Stock Exchange. This hasn't broke out into new all-time high yet, but it did break above that downtrend line on elevated volume as well. So my expectation is this should see new highs shortly as well. So we have the S&P seeing new all-time highs, New York Stock Exchange pretty much at all-time highs, Nasdaq Composite breaking out, Qs breaking out. And that is a great sign for the market. Equal weighted staged an even better breakout today. Broke this downtrend line, broke this pivot, horizontal pivot right here, broke this downtrend line as well and good above this 125 line. This is great to see the QQEW leading the Qs today, showing that breadth is participating. The Dow is actually the leader today, up 1.03%. Broke this downtrend line that I highlighted yesterday. We're watching this horizontal level now, but we did get a new all-time high daily close. Mid caps. This handle continues to form. I'm looking at that level right there. Don't have too much to say about this index. Continues to lag, as you can see the RS line. Russell, small caps continue to lag as well. Actually trying to poke his head out, but close mid-range, still just right at 2,200. We want a clean break of this downtrend line, especially above this horizontal line, and then finally 2,300. VIX, we love to see the VIX continue to come down. We found support resistance at 2376. I would love to see us get back below 20 and then back below the 215. And once again, chill and take a break at the 10 to 13 range, where, as you can see, all this area right here presented nice, smooth uptrends. The dollar continues to head higher after this tiny flag. Rates are heading higher, 1 year, 2 year, 10 year, 30 year. That means a few things. Could mean higher growth expectations in the economy, stronger labor market, and also potentially high sticky inflation or higher inflation, which is not what we want to see. And we'll talk about bonds in a second. Gold continues to pull back as a dollar not really breaks out, but heads higher and rallies. We did make a close below 20 on EMA, so that's definitely looking at a lot weaker now. But we've had a huge move in gold so far. So from this 10-year base breakout, we've made a huge move. Pulling back to the 10-week would be completely reasonable and normal. GDX found support the 10-week and 50-day upside reversal. So we'll see if that low holds and if we try to rally out of there. Silver, weak action, couldn't even rally to the 21 EMA today. Failed breakout on 10-4, and we come back in today. Bitcoin continues weak as well. This is IBIT. I'll go to a trading view chart. Bitcoin is currently trading at 60,455, actually breaking the 50-day as we speak. On October 7th, we tried to break above the 200-day, reversed, closed below, then rejected the 10 and 20, and now we're heading lower back to the 50. This shakeout, though, continues to put Bitcoin in a range, still in the downtrend with a series of lower lows and lower highs. So we really need to take out the 66,600 area to really give us confidence that Bitcoin is headed into a new uptrend. And I'm watching that very closely. Bonds. We'll go back to trading view again. This is the 1 year yield heading higher. 2 year yield also heading higher. 10-year heading higher as well. We could potentially find some resistance at the 200-day and 30-year also heading higher. That means the 2 year notes are selling off. 5-year notes right here also selling off. 10-year selling off, and the bonds as well. And Druckenmiller, we know, put on a huge short bonds position for various reasons. Either inflation stays sticky or his worries about the deficit. And so we don't really know what bonds are currently trading off of, what story, but those are two potential possibilities. So we talked about bonds, so I don't have to go over TLT or the rates. I like the trading view depictions a lot better. A couple other things. My Mag 7 composite pretty much closed flat today, so that shows the Mag names consolidating a bit today, but it's really forming a nice base here. And so over these highs, and the markets can really take off. This is our RGA composite in trading view, also starting to break out, poke its head out. I'd love to see us get above 768 there. And then about the 2 year yields heading higher, since the Fed primarily follows the 2 year yield, we're starting to see as that 2 year rises, the probabilities of no rate cut in the November meeting has increased to 21%. Probability for 50 basis points is pretty much zero now, and then there's about an 80% chance for a 25 basis point rate cut. All right, so on to the tail of the tape now. So what is significant? We had some stows go green in the major indexes as well as the RG8. NASI continues to stay red, dollar up, yields up. VIX, as I pointed out, continues to come down. Fear and greed stays the same at 72. Tomorrow we'll get the AAII numbers as well as the NAM numbers. We're still operating on the bull case, of course, or above the 21 EMA and into new all-time highs. News, CPI tomorrow, PPI Thursday. As as we talked about, as I talked about in last night's video, today's keys were the range 5670 through 5767. We broke out of that, making new all-time highs in the S&P. The Qs broke out as well, currently sitting right at 494. So taking that out probably takes us back to 500. And we'll see what happens from there. Day count, of course, we're changing it to up one now. 2 days above the 8 EMA, 21 days above the 21 EMA. Expectations are positive. So what happened today? We opened pretty much flat, pulled back slightly, barely anything. We opened at 57.52, pulled back to 57.45, and then rallied all the way to 57.90. Based, put in a perfect cup with handle. I'll show that real quick on the S&P. So we opened slightly down, pulled back, ripped all the way to 57.90, put in a nice cup with handle, and then we broke out of that and made new highs for the day. All right. So tail of the tape. Continue on. Let's see. Sectors. Bond prices were actually, all right, this bond prices are actually down today. Bond yields were up. So change the percentage and dollar sign. Tech, healthcare, industrials are up. Cybersecurity, cloud computing, software were up. Regionals and semis as well. And then the dollar was down. Utilities were down. Bitcoin and miners were down, as well as China, after investors are starting to realize that maybe the stimulus measures aren't as great as once thought. All we did today was buy some ALAB. They they announced a new portfolio uh, of switches that are part of the semiconductors AI suite of products. So that raised our beta to 1.43. And the bottom line is indexes and breadth breakout, S&P 500 new all-time highs. And our Thursday keys are the same as yesterday's keys, except we're looking at these as potential support areas now instead of resistance areas. All right, so let's go back to the charts. Get rid of that. We'll go to a few charts of interest of mine, and then we'll go over the 21 over 21 list. I'll go over like the top 5 to 10 up names, and then we'll go over some top 5 down names. First one is still NVIDIA. As I talked about, nice break of this downtrend line, swift move up, also break of 130, pulled back a bit today. I'm really looking for some sort of pivot point like that to develop a handle, break through that, and that's exactly what I want to see. You can see volume is contracting as well. That's perfect action so far. MSTR, same thing, right up against 200 level. Volume contracted today, so that's perfect. I would love to see the 8 EMA catch up, 21 EMA catch up as well. Maybe put in some tight days, a shakeout or two, and then retake that, and I'll definitely be looking on for an add-on buy. Tesla robo taxi event tomorrow after the close. We're pretty much right at this 535 to 540, sorry, 235 to 240 level. Break above 50K, that's a wedge pop, and we probably likely get going. Break above this, and I could see 300 next, and that would be huge, huge level there. Avgo breaks out into new all-time highs, pulling the semis up. Super strong. I've highlighted this before out of this cup with handle. And then finally, another big name in the medical area, Eli Lilly has a nice downtrend line. Wedge pop yesterday, continuation day today. For this big of a company, extraordinary earnings, 86% year over year, accelerated from 59, accelerated for 19. Revenues are doing really well. For those more interested in Eli Lilly, their fat loss, obesity products, their GLP-1 drugs, the CEO went on to All In podcast with David Friedberg for you to check out as well. Now, finally, as always, back to the 21 over 21 list. Palantir, just amazing. Another 4% up day, followed by yesterday's 6.58%. This is starting to accelerate to the 12 o'clock direction. If I'm long from this area right here, I'd probably begin to start looking to trim the strength because see, you had a breakout from here, acceleration on gap up, addition is the S&P 500, and now we're starting to accelerate even more. You can see if you draw some upper tops lines, you see the trend is starting to accelerate. Oracle, we own this 4% size, follow through after the break of the small, clean and simple base. Uber, 5 days up in a row, heading up into the 78.45 area. I would love to see us pull back a bit and then take that out just like that. IoT, yesterday reversal. Now we're back above the 8 EMA, tight inside day, volume contracting. So I would expect this to continue higher from here. The one thing I don't like about IoT is it's if you look at the weekly, it's so choppy. It makes a move and then comes back to the 10 and 20 week. It makes a move, then comes back to the 10, 20, 30, 40 week. Makes a move and then comes back to the 10, 20, 30, 40 week again, and even undercuts it. Compare that with like a Nvidia, when it makes the move, look how nicely it trends and nicely it respects the moving averages. We can go to Sprouts Farmers Market. Look how nicely it respects that 10 week. We can go to SMCI, how nicely it respects the 10 week. Then it bases, but then it respects the 10 week as well. Um, so continuing on, we have VRT. There's another one. Look how well it respects the 10-week moving average. Literally from 15 all the way to 95, it respected the 10-week moving average. And that is model book like. Axon, really nice trend after the earnings gap. Pull back to the 21 EMA and just trending along the 8. This is another one that I'm saying, look at the linearity versus this, and then we go back to IoT. Look how choppy that is versus Axon versus VRT, even versus Uber when it's made its move up here. Uh, so you get the gist. And if you have any questions, you can always ask. SC, um, let's see, broke out into new 52-week highs and continues to trend nicely. Don't really have too much to say about that. And then on the downside, with higher rates, utilities pull back. CEG had a pretty big 6% down day, definitely a distribution day. But we got on a 60-minute, it's coming into this area of support. So it's finding support so far. And then the gap day's highs right here as well. And this is the highest volume ever. So we're definitely giving this a chance. It's only a 2% position. We want to let stocks work for us. Just to show the group, VST also pulled back. It actually did hit ants. So definitely institutional accumulation. I would love to see this consolidate and put in a new setup. NRG as well, pretty big move down, retesting the top of the base. GEV in the group literally close green. So this is such a strong name and continues to be, and we're still watching this one. MicroStrategies, I talked about this. You love to see when the down names are actually setting up and acting strong. That means we're in a great market. Tesla as well, a little bit weaker, but still building a nice cup with handle. Watching that as the robo-taxi event will be a potential catalyst as well as earnings. Sprouts Farmers Market, I talked about it. I mean, there's really nothing to say about this trend besides it's just extraordinary. Respects the 10-week absolutely perfectly, and respects the 21 EMA. This is just almost unseen. Doesn't even retest the 50-day. Shark Ninja, another linear trend. Talk about linearity. Ever since it broke out of this, pretty much respects the 10 and 20 week all the way up, and really above the 10 week for the most of the time. Nvidia, talked about this one, so I won't do it again. And then Kava, nice. Try to push out, but closed in yesterday's range, and this continues to act well. So that will wrap it for today's video. S&P all-time high. Q's break out of a perfect VCP base. QQQE actually makes a bigger move out of perfect VCP base. FNGS and MAG 7 proxy also breaks out of a perfect VCP base. Leaders are acting well. The leaders that already ran are starting to pull back, which is healthy, or continue to build the bright sides of their bases. And so that's going to wrap it. As always, we'd like to hear from you. My email is ted@revereasset.com, and then you can reach out to Dan and Don at revereasset.com. Our phone is 855 Real Wealth. That is 855-732-5932. Our website is Revere Asset Management. You can sign up for our newsletter there and receive these videos in your email. And then our YouTube is Revere Asset. Please like, please subscribe, please comment, please share. That would help us tremendously, and we would appreciate that a lot. And just always as a reminder, we named our flagship portfolio GROTECTION. What that means is we want to participate when the market is in an uptrend and protect money when we're in downtrends. And if you're interested in becoming a client, please reach out. And with that said, I'll wrap up today's video for Wednesday, October 9th. It is now 5:06 p.m. This is Ted Zhang with Revere Asset Management, telling it like it is. Thank you for listening and have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you in the next videos to come.